Thank you, Joe. An I-9 investigation found federal tax money meant to help schools through the pandemic went toward playgrounds and athletic facilities for some districts. Iowa received $697 million from the Federal Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, or ESSER. It's meant to help with pandemic expenses like keeping schools open with the help of masks, enhanced cleaning or air systems, academic support for students who fell behind or need remote learning, or social and emotional support for students and staff. I-9 investigative reporter Ethan Stein looked into how districts did spend that money. And Ethan, what did you find?
Chris, we requested data from these 28 school districts, most across eastern Iowa, on how they spent those dollars. While most of it would be what you might expect, we found some districts who spent it on other things experts and even another Iowa superintendent called inappropriate.
Our motto at Owine Community Schools is to be happy, healthy, and awesome.
And what could be more awesome than a new playground? This is the district's promotional video for its new playground. It spent $300,000 of ESSER funding to build it.
Okay, that's a little weird.
Madison Strakowski has two children in the district. She thinks there was a smarter use for that money.
Maybe more things for the students, like classes, materials, or I don't know, like giving teacher raises.
Owine Superintendent Josh N. argues the school needed a new playground to stop COVID from spreading.
It doesn't accept the cleaning materials like a wood or metal surface would.
But the virus is airborne. It's not by touch.
Correct, but when we closed playgrounds, we didn't know that. And ESSER funds, correct, but ESSER funds are also intended to be mitigating. So how do you know if there's another pandemic or another virus or something else that may come along that you need to clean those surfaces on?
Owine is also spending thousands on supplies like hand sanitizers, extra employees, and literacy coaches. It's also not the only school district we found spending those dollars on playgrounds. East Buchanan plans to spend $100,000 to expand its playground. Decorah spent more than $1,000 on new batting helmets. And the Roland Story School District says it plans to spend $100,000 on a new weight room. Clear Creek Amana's interim superintendent told us some of that spending seems out of line with the original purpose of ESSER.
I'm pretty conservative. I think ESSER money should be spent on things that are COVID related, and it's hard for me to rationalize how a playground is COVID related.
All of that spending is legal, but some of those purchases might have been denied in Illinois. For example, it denied a request for a new football field because it requires a district to explain how the funding will help students' social, emotional, mental health, and academic needs. The Iowa Department of Education told us it has no authority to deny any purchase except in extreme cases. With those guidelines, experts say it's hard to find a purchase that wouldn't be allowed.
I think it's fair to categorize the funding as broad.
Dan Goldhaber is an education research professor at the University of Washington. He says broad guidelines from the federal government got the money to schools faster, but allows school districts to make more questionable purchases.
I personally would have liked to see a little bit stricter requirements so that it was clear that the money was going to protect student health and well-being and help them recover academically.
Thanks to our intern Gabby for helping gather this data. Every school, even the ones we noted in this story, spent the majority of these ESSER funds on things you would expect, like cleaning supplies, staffing, or air filtration systems. If you want to see how much your district was received, we'll put it on with this web story on KCRG.com. In studio, Ethan Stein, KCRG TV 9 News.